This is a geometry problem. They give me a couple of 3 points and they want me to find the equation of a circle. I've got steps for doing this. Here are the steps. You can take a screenshot. Let me make sure all the steps are there. Yeah, all 7 steps. Take a screenshot of that so you have the steps written down. But now I'm going to work it. I'm going to find the midpoint between A and B and the midpoint between B and C. You could also find between A and B and A and C, either way. And then I find the perpendicular bisector. So I'll find the slope and find the reciprocal of the slope. Flip it and then negate it, the negative reciprocal. And that will be the slope of the perpendicular bisector. Now if it's a horizontal point, if it's got 0 in the numerator and the number in the denominator, that means the perpendicular bisector is a vertical line. And so then it will be x equal whatever the x coordinate is of the midpoint. If it's already a vertical line, 0 is in the denominator, it means that the perpendicular bisector is a horizontal line, y equals whatever the y value of the midpoint is. And so I'm going to show you that, and then I'll show you if I do A to C, it won't be horizontal or vertical, so then I'll show you how to then plug in the negative reciprocal slope and the point, the midpoint, into this point slope form to find the equation of the line. Okay, so I'm going to do 3, 3. To get the midpoint, I add the x's. 3 plus 3 is 6, divided by 2 is 3. I add the y's. Negative 3 plus 1 is negative 2, divided by 2 is negative 1. So there's the midpoint. Now I'm going to do the slope. I'll call this point 1 and this point 2. 1 minus negative 3 is 1 plus 3, which is 4, divided by 3 minus 3 is 0. So see, that's a vertical line. Vertical line has 0 in the denominator. So it doesn't exist. So I know that the slope, or the perpendicular bisector line, will be a horizontal line, and it will be equal to the y coordinate. So y equals negative 1 is the equation of the perpendicular bisector of that segment that connects A and B. Now I'll do B and C. I'm going to find the midpoint. 7 plus 3 is 10, divided by 2 is 5. 1 plus 1 is 2, divided by 2 is 1, so 5, 1 is the midpoint. I will do the slope. Now this is point 1, this is point 2. 1 minus 1 is 0. y2 minus y1, divided by x2, 7, minus 3 is 4. 0 over 4, well that's 0. That's a horizontal line. So I know that the perpendicular bisector will be a vertical line. X equals whatever the x component is. X equals 5. So where do those two lines cross? If you draw them on the coordinate plane, you will see that they cross at 5, negative 1. Well, I don't know why I got a double negative there. Y equals negative 1. Okay, 5, negative 1. Now all I have to do, now that I have the center, is I have to find the distance between the center and any one of the original points. I will do 7, 1. And to find the distance, I use the distance formula. Hold on, I'm trying to get some more room. The distance formula is the square root. And this will be the radius, by the way. Remember, the equation of the circle will be x minus h. Wait a minute, I want to use a different little pen here. X minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. So now I'm going to find the radius by finding the distance between the center and any one of the original 3 points. Well, the distance is the square root of y2 minus y1. 1 minus negative 1 is 1 plus 1 is 2, and then I square it, 2 squared, plus y2 minus y1, 7 minus 5 is 2 squared, and that equals 4 plus 4 square root of 8 is the radius. Well, remember, in this equation, it's r squared. Square root of 8 squared is just 8. 8 equals r squared. So now I have my center, h, k. H is 5 and k is negative 1. And I have my r squared is 8. And so now I can get the equation of this circle. X minus h, I was going to put h, it's 5 squared plus y minus negative 1, which is y plus 1, y minus k squared equals 8, which is r squared. Right there. Now, I'm gonna still use this point. I'm going to show you what happens if I instead decided to work between A and B and then A and C. Found the perpendicular bisector of the segment between A and B, already found it. The midpoint is 3, -1. The equation of the perpendicular bisector is y equals -1. Now I'm going to use A, which is 3, -3, just to show you it'll still come out the same, and C, which is 7, 1. Okay, let me find the midpoint. 7 plus 3 is 10. 10 divided by 2 is 5. -3 plus 1 is -2. -2 divided by 2 is -1. So 5, -1 is the midpoint. Now you'll find the slope. 1 minus -3 is 1 plus 3, which is 4. 7 minus 3 is 4. That equals 1. So what's the negative reciprocal? Well, 1 is 1 over 1. So if I get the reciprocal, it's still 1 over 1. I just have to change the sign. So the slope of this perpendicular bisector is -1. And there's the point that's on it. So now I can use those to find the equation of that line. And I need more room. I always need more room. So I'm going to use a point slope formula. Y minus the y value minus -1, which is +1, equals m, -1, times x minus the x value of the point that's on that line, which is the midpoint, x minus 5. So I will multiply everything by -1, subtract 1 from both sides. Y equals -x, -1 times -5 is +5, minus 1. So y equals -x plus 4. Excuse me. Now to find the center, I just have to see where these two equations, y equals -1, y equals -x plus 4, where they intersect. So I'm going to do -1 equals -x plus 4. I'm just setting them equal to each other. I will subtract 4 from both sides. -5 equals -x. X equals 5. So now once again, I have found that the midpoint is, the center is 5, and then the y coordinate, y equals -1, is -1. It's exactly the same as I found before. 5, -1 is the center of that circle. And then I can use that to find the distance between that and any other point. That will be the radius. Just square it. It comes out exactly the same as it did last time. But I just wanted to show this part so you see what happens if it is a vertical line or horizontal line. Or, in this case, if I did between A and C, it's a slanted line. So I have to do a little bit more calculation. But I still get the same center, 5, -1 in both cases, where 5 is H and -1 is K. All right, so that's the end of it. I'll show the steps one more time. You can take a screenshot of those steps. Follow those steps whenever you get 3 points and need to find the equation of a circle.